All right. I did that once and it didn't work. And I thought I recorded it. I was very upset. Okay. So my name is Autumn. I'm with the 15th District PTA. I am doing reflections this year. I also did it last year, so I am familiar with the program. If you want to, you can introduce yourselves or you can put it in the chat. I'll go ahead and let Sienna introduce herself in case you don't know her.
I was going to say thank you. I'm Sienna Newman. I'm the new 15th District President. So thank you guys for all hopping on tonight. We're really excited. I know we're not starting off the school year the way that we had all kind of hoped back in the summer and what it would look like, but we're still here and we're still pushing, and want to do PTA and really engage families and do the best that we can. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and anybody who is available, make sure you register too for our back to school, back to PTA event on Saturday. It is in person at No Middle School, so we're quite excited about that. It'll be sort of an overall board training and in our general meeting. So I'll put the link in the to the registration in the chat box here in a minute. And so make sure you register and join us on Saturday as well. Thank you guys, and hopefully we'll see you then. And thank you for joining us tonight. Autumn, I'll let you take over.
Okay. So again, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and bring up this PowerPoint and I'm going to let you know everything that's on here we will have on the website and we'll have available. Okay, where's my screen? Okay. Well, there we go. We don't want to start with the questions. We'll start at the beginning. How about that? Okay, so does everyone see the PowerPoint? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to flip between the PowerPoint and I'm going to flip between the website where all the information is also at. Everybody can see the website? Someone give me a thumbs up just so I know. All right. Thank you, Gretchen. Okay, so this year, the reflections, we are going to receive them again virtually, digitally, through the Google Drive. If for some reason you have a problem with that and you need help, contact me personally and we'll help you out with that. But I'm going to show you some tips and get you set up on that. So it is the theme this year, dun, 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 is I will change the world by. So why do they have a theme? So that everything is judged according to that theme. The theme is very important. It counts to how your artwork or the student's artwork reflects in that theme. So you need to make sure that your students aren't just not, oh, I took this really great picture, but it doesn't have anything with changing the world. When they do that artist statement, it needs to reflect in that. So make sure that they understand that this is the theme and they need to, whatever they create, work with that. You can actually submit a theme for the upcoming years. It's on Reflections website, National PTA, and you can submit that directly to them. And who knows, maybe one of your students will pick the theme in the upcoming years. So this is a national PTA program. We do it at our local levels. We do it at our district level, state level, and then those winners go all the way to the national. It does usually have some scholarships with it. A lot of great recognition for our students. That's really important because a lot of times in schools we recognize the academics, but we forget that some students really excel in the arts. And so this is a way to recognize those students. I mean, there are students that do both really well, but sometimes we want to make sure that we're getting those students that may not be that academic and not getting those accolades, and they're going to get them with this program. So if you have a whole bunch of students that do this and not all of them make it to the district level, we hope that you do praise them at the local level and do an award ceremony for them there also. So National PTA does have this program, and all of these links will take you, I'm not replacing it, will take you to what you need. This is national site. It has all the information on it. But the thing, and you can register with National PTA, and so they keep a track of who actually starts the program and makes it all the way through. They tell you about the theme on this also. They also have, how to register, how to do the actual program, your local level. And then it has, once you go through here, once you start your program, this mouse does not like me, guys. I apologize. it has all the resources as in posters. You can download posters. You can put all of those on there. You go to Kentucky, but here's your, all these are on our website too. So they're on nationals also. But this is the e-learning course that I'm going to show you in a second also. But here are all your posters. If you want to download a poster, if you want to put something on your social media, these are all Facebook ready images that you can put on social media. You can put on your Twitter. If you want to do a postcard to hand out at your open house to get people interested, those are all right there and they're downloadable, and you can create whatever you need to hand out to your families. And then you also have all the logos. That e-learning course, which I just said, that is a really great course. You just go on there. It's about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's going to give you the basis on how the program is designed and what we're hoping from it. It's not bad. It's quick and easy. But if you haven't done reflections before and you want to know how it started and what the, what they're looking for, that is always a good place to start. We're going to fight with this mouse all night, apparently. I wish I had another mouse to change it up with. Okay. So these are the categories. You have dance choreography, film production, literature, music composition, photography, and visual arts. Now, in all of your schools, you have people that are teachers that are already doing some of this. Of course, your literature teachers are easy to find with your English teachers. So bringing that program to them and saying, hey, would you like to do an assignment based around this? And then you can send me, if anyone's interested, send it to me. They probably know if they have students, especially in the high school level, that are very creative. Maybe you already have a literacy, after school program or committee. My high school had a literacy group that put out a literacy book every year. So those are people you want to touch base with and say, hey, this is some way to showcase your work. Your music teachers, your band teachers, obviously music composition, dance, of course, if you're a school that, specializes in, dance, that's an easy one for you guys. But if not, your PE teachers do some dancing. Maybe they know that some students that already do dance. So putting that information out them. Film production, photography, visual arts, putting that out there to your entire families. Now, if you're just starting and this is a little overwhelming, you can start with like visual arts, because that is probably the easiest one to start with students. That and literacy, because film production, you don't have to video that, although most students now have phones, so that's becoming a lot easier. Used to be that was a little bit more of a, when I first did this program, when my son was in first grade, we actually borrowed the school's camcorder to record the students that stayed after for the program and did a dance routine. We would not have to do that now. We just have to have our little phone and record. So obviously times have changed, but that's opening it to more people also. Now, something I do want you to know, if each of these have rules, and this is a link to the rules, and I realized today that it was not on our website, so it will be on there after this, because I'll put the film on there too, or this recording. These rules are what we go by. If you submit something and it doesn't follow those rules, our hands are kind of tied. And we really hate that when a student, excels at the, school level, and then they go to the district. And for example, if you had a photo and it's in the photo category, because these are specific ones. So dance, film, if you go to the photography one, for example, entries with graphics or images, including lettering or text, are not accepted. So if you submit a really great photo that someone took and they put, writing on it, we will, depending on how many, last year, everyone was recognized. So they may not have been able to go to first place and, go to the next level, because that lettering automatically knocked them out of going to that next level. So we needed you all to make sure that you follow those rules so you don't get disqualified. And we really hate to see that, especially if the work is really powerful. So always remember to check the rules. There's not a lot of them, but just make sure you check. The photography one is one that we've run into before. The film one, if you do a film that's longer than that's longer than the amount that it can be, then you kind of get disqualified too, because I can't submit, a partial film. So making sure that your film is the length as long as it can be, and making sure that if you're doing music composition, if you're in middle and high school, you have to submit a music score. We will help you with that. Last year we had a person that didn't know how to score and couldn't figure it out, and I found someone that actually helped them, and within one day they had that score. So we will help you out if you have an issue. Just let us know. But these rules are really, because once you get to the national level, if we were to progress that person, they would automatically be knocked out, and we would hate for that to happen. So the rules are very important. Just check over. Like I said, there's not a lot of them, but some of them are kind of, iffy. All right. And since there's a small group, if you want to talk at any time, if you have a question, raise your hand or just unmute. I am happy to answer any questions. Sienna, are you able to see if someone comes into the waiting room? That's ask if you will.
I don't think I am, because I don't think I'm listed as a host. So if,
co-host just in case someone.
yep, and I'll watch. You got it.
Appreciate that. I didn't. Okay. There you are. Sorry, I should have done this before. I just realized that. So you should be now a co-host. Thank you, Sienna.
It looked like there was a category that said special artist. It was kind of going back quickly, but which one would that go with? Special artist.
Special artist. National PTA does a special artist, and they can apply for any of the groups. So, that's music composition, not special artist. So it doesn't. National PTA doesn't care what age level. They do elementary, middle, and high for the special artists. And so if you do a special artist for, let's say, music composition, you'll be judged against the musical composition of all students in the elementary for musical composition. At the district and state level in Kentucky, what we do is we judge just on the grade level. So if you have a child that's a special needs child, this has the requirements, Americans with Disabilities, any of these are what they recognize. You can submit for them, and they will only be judged against students at the same grade level at district and state. So you could have two students, one is special needs and one is not, and they both put a drawing in and they're first graders. Both of them can go to district because they're not competing against each other. They're in separate areas. Now, if you have a special artist that wants to compete in the first grade without being a special artist, then she would be able to compete that way too. It's clearly up to the student if they want to compete on the individual level or at the against the other special artists. And we'll go over submitting that in a minute to show you. But yeah, we want to do at the state to make sure that, and the district to make sure that we're recognizing all of our students, and not, that's why we don't put K through 5 competing against each other. Especially a lot of times we've got a lot from visual arts from some of our schools that just have special artists, and to say that none of them at different levels have to compete, we didn't want that. Let's be fair. Now at national, yes, we have to send that one for that elementary level and that middle, but at district and state, we make sure that we recognize as many students as we can.
Where can you find this form, this guideline?
It is, like I said, it's usually right here. Go to 15th district. Well, and if you go to reflections here under programs, there, sorry, all the forms are right here except that one. I just realized I didn't put it on there today, so I will put it in right after this, saying I will upload it. So you would have forms. Here's your student forms and your PTA entry forms, and I'll put down here the form for the instructions. What are they called? rules and guidelines. I will upload that this afternoon, right after we get done with this class. I'll make sure it's there. So I'm going to upload this. I'm going to upload the PowerPoint. And I'm going to put the link to the Zoom, this call on there too. But all the other forms that we're talking about are already on there. They're all listed here. The reflection student form in English and in Spanish, the inventory form, even directions how to submit that we're going to go over in a minute are all on that, on our PTA page. Any other questions before I go on? Okay.
I have a question. So submitting the forms, like basically the kids will give us their thing and then we are the one, I would be like the one that would submit it on.
You would submit your winners. So let's say you
Okay.
have 5 people that, or 25 kids that participate. The winners of those, each grade level and each category's winners go to district. And then district is the one that you would have to submit the forms there. So some PTAs that have a lot, they don't do all the forms until the end. So they know which winners are going to go to the district. But the form is that the students fill out is this form right here. Every student has to fill it out in order to go to district. We have an English version and a Spanish version. And the PTA leaders have to connect this part here. So you need to make sure that you fill in your local PTA and ID, your student name, and all that should be on there. We need to make sure the parent does sign it, because if they go on to national, if they don't have a signature and they won, and then the parent says no, then that is not anyone, that winner out, because at that point we could have put someone else up there. The title of the work, details depending on what it is. Obviously, you don't really need, you don't put the details are really for if you're doing music, you give background music, you need to list that. Then your artist statement. Now this is both in a PDF or you can actually type on the form. Just save it on your computer or make sure you print it. And so, because it'll download, so that's what you'll need to do. You could do either one of those and you could save them and then submit.
Thank you.
So, the real important thing, if there's something that you didn't pay your dues, well, then make sure you get them paid so we can get you on there. We typically don't have any problem with that, but we will let you know, because they can't go further, if your bylaws are expired, and we had some because of the COVID that expired. We'll help you get those back up and get you legal and get you taken care of, okay? We want to make sure that our students are being recognized, and so we'll help you any way we can. We'd help you without the program too, but we will help you any way we can.
Hey, Autumn, I have a question.
Yes.
So with filling that out, it says before distribution. So is that before we hand it to the student, or can we fill that, can we have those dates included on there when we turn it into you guys?
Yeah, I wouldn't fill it out before you go to the student, because what if they lose it, then you're giving them how to fill it out. So when they give it back to you and that student is a winner and going to district, then I would fill it out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that'll save you lots of time.
I had I guess, question / comment is, I don't know if there's different ways to do it. I'm doing it for the first time at No, but other people had done it in the past. But what the way we do the program is that we have judges. We find local judges in each category that are not teachers and are not like a parent of one of the students, but just someone that someone might know that is a music teacher or is a photographer in the community or that sort of thing. That's what we do. I don't know if there's other ways to do it. I wondered if people might have that question of how you select the winners.
We talk about judging a little bit, but yeah, you're right. It depends on who they are. Every time I've done the program and on district level, we reach out to people in the community and say, would you be willing to judge that? For example, I always go to a dance school and say, hey, you haven't judged Reflections before, would you be interested in it? And since it's all digital for us, giving them the link to the Google Drive and then they can fill it out. A lot of times, Flickr is a great place if you've got a person that does photography, checking with them to see if they'd be interested. That's another place to find judges. But yeah, it's looking into your community. You don't really want it to be a parent that has, especially a parent that has a kid in there, because that kind of skews the judgment, obviously. So you want to look outside in community. If you find that you're having a hard time, contact us and we'll see if we can help you find someone. But that's what I would do. Usually there's a kid that's taking dance somewhere and they know someone that knows someone. And even if you have a lot of students, especially now, because I know you have a lot of students that take dance, you obviously don't want to do the dance teacher of all the students, but they could go, I have a friend that teaches in Indiana. How about I give you their name and check? So that is a way to find a source. If you know someone that does it, say, hey, do you know someone that you can recommend? I have a retired English teacher that every year does reflections for us. And she enjoys it because she's not in the classroom. She's not battling doing that at the same time. She enjoys reading what the kids are writing now. And it's, she was an English teacher for 20 years and or how many years, she loved reading. And so she enjoys reading the kids' literature. Entries. Okay, so that was the form. Yes. Another question?
Yeah, sorry. Is it gonna be just one judge per each category, or are there gonna be like multiple in like school levels? So should I look for multiple judges for each category? And then this is my first year doing it, so I'm just kind of confused.
You're fine. On the district level, we have between 2 and 3 for each division. On the local level, we kind of hope you have at least 2. That way you have 2 different scores to look at, and because we do it by score. So if you have this score and this score, you add them together, and then that gives you a total score for that student, and you do it. So you have a total score. So people look at, especially art, it's very subjective. So the more diversity that you have in those judges, it helps you out. Now, obviously, someone that doesn't know anything about dance is not a great judge for dance, because I can see something that's pretty, but if someone that is a dancer goes, ballet isn't supposed to be flat foot, obviously, especially on the elementary level, you're not there, but you want someone that can see that, what the student is trying to do. I would not be a great, judge for dance because I have no dance technique at all. Yeah, that's where most schools have at least 2 for each category.
Do you have an example? Do you all have sample scoring sheets, or do they come up, the 2 judges decide on their scoring sheets?
National PTA has those available. I don't put them on there. They're the same thing that National does. When you go to National site, okay, I thought I had them open here. Okay. Go to awards. I think that's where it's under. It tells you the criteria for judging, and we have that in the slide in a minute. But it also has actually it starts program. They have on that program a link that has an entire PTA leaders that comes with ideas on how to judge, and all lays it out. Leaders guide right here. If you click on that, it's going to tell you, it's going to have how to get started, promote the program. It's going to have your judges packet in there. All of that is already there so that you can start it. Most of these forms are on my side too, just so that if you need the individual forms, so you don't have to download this every time. But if you go through the very bottom, you will find there's your checklist. This is a volunteer sign up if you want to do that. Of course, a lot of schools are doing Sign Up Genius if you're doing volunteers. And that's a good way to get judges too. If you put it out there, do you know anyone that's interested in, music? Would you be interested in judging, reflections? So here's the Scorecard of Judging packet. So it's on these criteria right here for each one. And so 1 to 8, 9 to 10, and this is how advanced. So then you can the scorecard. And so what I did last year is each judge had a scorecard with each one, and they put the thing in there. And then I just took those spreadsheets and linked them together, and I actually did a Google form basically. And basically I got each one right there. It was done. I did it by Google form for my judges. So each time they looked at something, and the form would have exhibit 1, let's say it was all photography, exhibit 1 photography, they could click on it and see the big picture. They would come back and say interpretation, then give it a score, give it a score for creativity, give it a score for technique, and they go to the second one, next one, and then they would give that. And when they finished that Google form, I already had who the winners were according to them. Well, everybody used the same form. They just had different, logins, obviously. And so they were able, and that's how I did the judging. I did it all online last year. But yeah, this is right here for you. And I think they even have another page where, yeah. So when we used to do it in person, and we would have all of the artwork at CAP, the Clothing Assistance Program, laid out on tables, and the judges that came for photography or for visual arts, we would give them a clipboard, we would give them this paper and explain what everything is, and then entry 1, they would put their things, entry 2, and then we'd have to take those manual scorecards and add them up. So if you don't have a lot, it's really easy to do manually, but if you're doing it all digitally, then you can do it that way.
I have a question really quick.
Yes.
So you said that every student has to fill out the student form that says, that they're a PTA member, that, what they're submitting, their, what is it? It has the theme on it and like their statement or whatever. And then you said that we submit the winners for each field, I guess, category to you all. But then you also said that you all like to recognize as many students as possible. So do you mean you only recognize the students that won for each school because those are the only ones you're getting? Or is it that we give you another list saying, hey, there were all these other students that, made, second place, third place, or whatever?
Okay, so every student that is submitted to the district from the local units will get a certificate of recognition for doing the program, that we get the information. The winners, how the 15 district judge, we have the top winner, that is creative interpretation. And that person is the top for that grade level. They actually go to state. That winner goes to state. So for the primary, intermediate, middle, and high school, those winners in each category, and then also the categories for special artists, and those categories will go to state. So that we recognize that one. And then we have 2 that we recognize for, okay, you're gonna have, I don't have that paper in front of me. We recognize 5 additional students. So in total, 6 students will get recognized for each category, as long as we have 6 applicants for that. They will be invited to our award ceremony in December. They will come up on stage, they will get a certificate. If it's in person, what typically happens, you have your superintendent, you have the chair of the board, and a lot of times we have other board members that show up too. One time we had 5 or 6 people. You have Kentucky PTA president there, you will have Sienna there, and then each student will be recognized on stage. They'll come up, they'll get their certificate, their ribbon. The creative interpretation, the top winner that goes to state will get a plaque, and then they will get their picture taken, and then they go down the stage. And then after everyone's got their awards, we have the entire thing open. So we'll play the videos on the screen. We have music playing out that we're winners. We have all the artwork put up as showcase. So it's kind of like a showcase of their artwork. That is the reflection ceremony. So 6 students from each category in each division, and grade division and art category will be recognized. I will tell you that film production and music composition are our least entered of all of them, because you, especially at the music at the middle and high, you have to do the score, and there's not where dance is kind of low too, but literature, music, photography, and visual arts is our largest category. We on a in-person year usually had about 100 entries, or about 75 entries. So obviously we were not recognizing all those students at the event, but they did get a certificate, but the 6 in each category did get recognized. Any other questions on that?
I was just going to follow up on that. was wondering if she was wondering about the other kids that submit like from our school, not the ones that we send on to you, but if they get recognized, like does everybody that does it, do we send a form to you and they get a certificate, or is it our job at the school to recognize like all the people that submit something from our school and you only get the information about the one child from each grade from each category? Is that correct?
Yeah,
The district
yeah,
only-
that was,
Okay,
That was
I'm sorry, I didn't answer your question right, Shanna. Yeah,
that's
at
okay.
district, everyone that we get, we do recognize with a certificate. For those that do not make it to district, so your school, if you had 30 people that entered into visual arts, you know, and all the same grade level, then I only got one. Now you, if you're, I don't know what school you're at, if you're in elementary, then you can have more, obviously, depending on the grade level. Those students, no, they don't get recognized, but did not come to state because we don't, or to district because we don't know them. We do encourage you all to do it. There is a reflection that you can print out. National PTA does have reflections and medals that we don't use at the district level, so you're not gonna get the same thing. So last year at our school, we only had 3 people submit at my school, and you know, so they all 3 went to district, but because they did participate, we actually got medals from National PTA. I think they were $3, and they had the theme on it, and it would said what level they were. So they got, you know, creative interpretation, you know, whatever level they got, that went. So they got a medal, and I created a certificate on the computer, and my principal signed it, and I signed it, and they got it for, you know, participation and for, you know, doing it. The certificates are not hard to print. If you need one, I'll send you mine and you can put your school on it. National PTA does have participation certificates that you can buy, but you can create them, I think, personally. The medals are nice because they're a nice little medal. I think they were $3 or $3.50. They were not expensive. So I know some schools do a art night, and they showcase all their students' artwork on the walls. I know one school actually did a fundraiser with it. So afterwards they sold the art. So you had some parents are like, no, my kid made that. I want that. And you're like, so they're buying their own art, but it did work as a little fundraiser, and it was something the kids enjoyed. But we would highly recommend that you recognize those students in your newsletter, or if you do a night, letting the families know and your community know that they did do this. And because if they didn't win, we still want them to get that recognition. So, yeah.
I feel like at no, and like I kind of co-led it last year, but with COVID, I didn't have all the details, but I believe that we did a first, second, and third in each category, and that we sent on the first, you know, to district as our, you know, representative, like in each category. But I think we had a first, second, and third that got like a trophy or a medal or something. And then I think we did a participation, you know, something like for each of them. But I'm just kind of thinking if we're asking teachers, which they do at No, to do it as an assignment, it seems like we're going to have like hundreds of people, you know, submitting like in each category if you're having teachers doing it as an assignment. But
It's just something we've suggested. I've seen, I know a school that actually all of their students do the artwork. So we do get all of their winners, and they recognize their students locally. But every one of their students in art does a visual art. So we do get one from each of their, and they're a special needs school. So we actually get, you know, I think they're middle and high. So we get one from each of those categories. All right. This is good. I like questions.
Autumn, this is Jennifer. I was just going to add, at my school, before we had to submit them virtually, I still scanned them all, and I played them in front of, at the start of whatever the next general meeting was. So if it was our open house or if it was our holiday program, I played it there, and we recognized the kids during our general meeting with a certificate. So it's very simple, but every kid was able to be recognized, is normally what I do every year.
That's a great idea, Jennifer.
I like that a lot.
Like, that's great. I love that. I have a question. So I'm not only, I teach at Okolona Elementary. I'm the art and music teacher. And so everybody in my art class is actually doing a project. And then just the other categories I just open up to at home to just because it's just overwhelming to get it all done. My question, I do have a kind of little off topic. If I have a daughter in the public schools, but they have a PTA, but it's a rebranding year, can she still submit if they really don't have a PTA at her school, or how would that work?
Yes. So if they don't have a strong PTA, she can still submit to the PTA, and the PTA only has one person. They can submit it directly to district. Or if you have a strong PTA somewhere else and they were okay with her submitting with them, that is fine too. We will get her, well, if she's creative and she wants to submit, we'll find a way for her to do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Hey, this is Nicole from Brandeis. She can submit with our school. We have very little that turn in.
Until I took over as the art teacher, I'd have like 3 artwork and usually maybe 1. And then 2 years ago, I had a dance and she went all the way to nationals. And so, hey, there we go.
That's great.
I do recommend, if you're new to it, when you put a due date on it, do it a week before you really want it, because everybody will still try to be last minute. And then that gives you a buffer.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Julie. When I was at my elementary school, we actually did an after school program, which I know is hard this time, but look at next year maybe. And we had the artwork there, art supplies, so they could do art. We had the video camera, so if they got a group that wanted to do dance, and all we had to do is send something home, and they had to sign off that their kids could stay after school. And we did it for 3 weeks, and then the work was turned in, and that's what we used. And that was the very first year I did it, because I didn't know how to do the participation, and we were Title I school, and I was trying to find a way for the kids to stay after, and that was the way we did it. We had about 40 students that participated. And that year we had 2 dance submitted, and then I had about 20 visual arts. I had a few photography even. I didn't have any music, but the art teacher came down to one of them and made sure that we had all the supplies we needed. But it's a program, so the PTA paid for the art supplies and stuff, but she came down to check on us anyway, which is really great of her to give us the advice. So, something to think about, another way to do it. So this is what we were talking about, the judges. This is the creativity, the technique, the interpretation. You want to follow the same criteria because that's what they're going to be judged at district and at state and at national. So we are asking for the winners by October 15th online. Everything's submitted. If you have a problem, contact me. If for some reason it won't upload, my information is going to be at the end of this. You can contact me and I'll help you get it done. Okay. I don't want anyone to get frustrated. I can't do this. We will help you. I promise. Okay. So what you were asking on how you submit. So this form right here, and I'm gonna actually open it and show it to you, because this is where a lot of people get confused on how many you can submit. So if you look at the top, you will see that we have the categories: music, art, photography, literacy, dance, and film. So you're going to mark which category you're doing this inventory form for. And then you're going to say if it's not one of those and it's a special artist, it goes down here. So you will have, if you do music and you have 2 music and one's a special artist and one is not, you will have one form that's just for music and you'll fill it out, and then you'll have one form for music, special artist. I know that means that you could technically have 10 forms for your reflections, because once you fill that out, then you go down, and then if you're an elementary, you are able to submit these in middle and then high school. So whatever level you're at, and I think there's only one school that has K through 12. The rest of them either primary, middle, or high. I think I guess there is a middle and high together one. But you would put what grade and put the child's name. So I filled one out just so you could see what it looked like. Which one is it? So for this one, it's a special artist. It's photography, your school name, and then Athena name. So I have the name there. This is really easy. If you have that, then when you go to the computer and put everything in, you have your copy, you can mark it off and you can go to the next one. So this is the forms that you used to turn in when you came to CAP and dropped everything off. You had to have one for each category. So if you have a pre-K to kindergarten, you could have 70 entries. If you're in middle school, you could have up to 30 entries coming to district. If you're in high school, you could have 40 because you have 5 categories. And so that's 5 students. That's per grade level. And then if you have special artists, that's another 5 students. So you could possibly have 10 for each grade level because you could have 1 for regular, 1 for special artist. Everybody understand that? Just kind of depends on what grade level, what your school has. So if you have K through 12, you can have all of them basically. That's a lot of entries though. So if you have that many, you might want to co-chair and have someone help you out because you're going to need it. So the form is on the website also. And then for the email down there is down there if you want to email me if you have questions on it too. Okay. So now directions on how to submit to 15th district online. There's a document on the website. This is what it looks like. I do want you to notice this is highlighted because there is a 2-step process. So when you go to the website, you will see this right here and you can download it and it will show you the entire document. But I'm going to go through one and do a practice to show you how it is. These are where your inventory forms are submitted and this is where you link to the submit the artwork. Now, the directions on here are, you know, very detailed and there are pictures and everything, but I'm going to do one. If you have questions, just let me know and we'll stop and we'll go over it again. Okay. So I'm going to pretend that these are examples. I'm sorry, this keeps going on. So let's say we are going to submit a video. So you're going to go to the website and you're going to click, we're going to submit our form first. So we're going to go down here to film production. You're going to click on that. It's going to automatically open you up. You're going to put your email address. And you put your name of your school, ABC PTA, and John Smith is the president, and your fake phone number. Now these are required because when we alert you that your student is being recognized, we want to make sure you know too. So we do ask that you do fill these out with real ones. Hello, email. Well, I don't think there's a B-mail, but let's hope not. All right. And then you're going to check which level you're doing. So if you happen to be a school that has several levels, you can just pick which one you want first. So let's say it's elementary, so you're going to do primary first. And that's going to take you there. If you're middle, you hit middle and it's going to bypass you to the middle school, just so that you don't have to click through them because you don't have anyone that's in the primary or intermediate because you're middle school. So we'll just do intermediate. So hit next. And then it's going to tell you this is what you're filling out. So you're going to put the winner and make sure you spell their name right, because this is what we take the name for the certificates, whether it's participation or winning. If we do a, if they're a winner that gets a plaque, that's also what we're going to take from. Now, I typically last year, I sent an email to the chair saying, is everything look correct? Everything okay with the spelling? But the reason, if you type it in right the first time, we're good as gold. So I don't have one for special artists. So there's kindergarten winner, special artist, first special artist, second special artist. And it's going to take you through all the grades. You don't have anyone intermediate. Now, if you did have more than one person, so then we're going to go next. Because this is on the inventory form. So if you have more students that did film, you don't have to fill out an individual one for each one. So let's say you have a one at third grade. Jake Alex. Well, you should know how to capitalize. So we have 2 winners that are going to 15 districts that are for film production. And you can submit them on the same one. So once you're done, it's going to do that, go to the very end. And then it's going to remind you to please submit, go to the next step, and it's actually going to be the link so you can go directly there. Now, if you want to, you can submit the digital form. So you can hit add file, and you can upload it from your computer, or if you have it on your drive already. Well, we're just going to do that. Hit select, and then it's there. So in case you think you might have made a mistake, because I look at that to make sure what you put in digitally matches what you have written down. If you don't, I call you and say, okay, you have Tommy at 4th grade, but you have 3rd grade here, but his student form says for 5th grade. So which grade is he in? It could be just a typo. We just, if you don't have to, but if you want to submit that, you can do it there. And then you're going to hit submit, and it's going to say thank you. I hope it says thank you. There you go. And then it's going to say go to this form. Now, for some reason you missed that link, all you have to do is go back to 15 districts page. And you will see that right there is the same link, and it's going to take you to this film production to submit. So once you go to submit, you're going to put your email address again there. You put the student's name that you're submitting for, your PTA, and then you're going to upload the student entry form. So you're going to file upload. I uploaded these so we would have them, but I will do. Okay, I'm just going to upload one so you see what happens, because I don't know where I stuck those. They're probably in my personal drive. So there's the entry form that we got from the students, and then you're going to upload the file. That is on. I got that. Okay. I apologize that I don't have it in my own form. I thought I did. Just upload one. No, I don't have one on it. This is my husband's computer. All right, we'll just do it. That's a picture file instead of a video, but it should let you upload the video. If you have a problem with uploading the video, contact me, send me an email, and we'll get it. And then you hit submit. And then it's gonna say, excuse me, you have submitted, thank you. You can submit another one right there. Since we had 2 film right there, you would submit the next guy, same exact thing. You put your reflections, your email, I'm sorry. Your student's name, I think Josh Ellis is what I put, and your PTA, and then you would upload their file. Oops. So any questions about that? Now that is uploading for the entry form and the actual file. And you add file. Oops, hit submit. Anybody have any questions? Did I go over it too fast? My chair is sinking. Now, everything I just said, like I said, is right here on this file. And it shows you how to do it. I've got screenshots and how to upload.
It's Nicole. I have a question.
Yes.
So would it not be easier for like my school, you know, it's kind of small, if I kind of did that same kind of thing, had them submit, if I make my own Google form and have them submit like that, where they upload the form and then they upload their piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're more than welcome to do that. I think DuPont, did you all do that last year? Because I think
Yeah, that's how I did mine.
I thought that, you know, and so Seneca did it that way too. So yeah, that's the way we had to do it. It was virtual last year. I know someone did take theirs to UPS and had them all scanned in, but we've all gotten really used to Google Drive. You can take a picture and upload it to your drive now. Most kids, my elementary school, who is a kindergartner, knows how to do that now. So most of your students know how to do that. So they're not going to have any problems. And as long as they can get to it and upload it, that shouldn't be a problem. Any other questions? I think it's a great program. I always enjoy seeing what our kids come up with and the interesting things. Just always remember that we want to follow those rules so that we don't disqualify them, because they worked hard to get here. And it could be, you know, if you're 5 seconds over, I'm going to call you and say, can you edit this somehow? Because I can't edit it. But, you know, making sure that we follow all those rules.
I had a quick question real quick. Were the awards from 15th District sent out last year?
Yes,
the
they went out
kids?
at the very end. If you don't have them, I can check to see if they're at the district.
Yeah, we did not get them at Manual.
Okay, man.
Or if they're there, I didn't see mine.
Well, let me
We
check.
did get the ones from the state PTA.
I don't know about the state. I can check on the state because I.
Yeah, no, we did get those. We did get the state
Okay.
PTA
Like, I
ones.
didn't-
Those
I
went straight to the
didn't-
students' homes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
will check on that. It's Thursday. I don't think Justin's in on Friday. Let me, give me a few days to get that back to you, Robin.
Yeah,
And-
okay, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. Other questions? So district winners will be notified in November. And then December 16th is our in-person reflections. I'm hoping we can do it in person. If not, we will do it again digitally like we did last year. Then state, I have to get them state by December, actually December 15th. So I have to actually ask for an extra day so that we can have them at our award ceremony, which I've already got permission for. And then state reflections is in May. And so they usually they do March or April. They usually, or, you know, give heads up if you're a winner on that one. And that is looking, right now they have the Playhouse in Lexington booked for that. Hopefully, again, we can be in person. It's at the, it's a little, the Children's Theater in Lexington, downtown Lexington. It's very cute. It's across from the ballet. Other questions you might have about the program, about the judging?
I have a quick question. Yeah, judging. That's a question. As far as I assume that it would be okay for to show the students or to post it, like for them to know the criteria. It reminds me of the rubric that like my children will often have, like, and they can see what, you know, if they're meeting the criteria for each category. Is that
Yes.
acceptable?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no point, yeah, give them that criteria, this is what you're being judged on. You, where the judging thing, I think it actually shows you, I know I opened that somewhere. See, I've got so many tabs, I don't know which one I opened it at. So here. I think it has, when you give the, this goes more into the criteria than letting them know that, you know, the interpreted theme is weighted heavier because it's 40 points, where creativity and technique are 30 each. So that's where that theme comes in. That's why I said make sure that it ties to the theme. You're gonna have a great thing, but if it doesn't tie to that theme, if you're not interpreting it, then you're really not doing what, you know, the theme is that year. So that is a very important thing. In fact, it says right here, if two are tied, the highest score for interpretation of the theme receives the more recognition. So making sure they understand what the theme is and they can relate to it. I've seen some great themes, and, you know, they need to, that artist statement is where they can say, you know, because sometimes you look at something and say, how in the world do you get that? But then they can say, this is, you know, something from my childhood. This is what reminds me of, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to change the world. So just making sure they tie that all together is very important. Other questions?
Well, it's Nicole. I put it in the chat, but I can't find the link to the rules.
Okay, yeah, it is not on the website. That's the one thing I realized I didn't have today.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put it on as soon as we get done with this. I'm gonna upload this to the website and YouTube, and go ahead and put the rules up there. I apologize. It's the only thing that's not on there because I know why it's not on there. It took me.
Oh no, it's okay. I was even trying to look at the national site and found a lot of more other stuff.
That's what I looked for, because I had them last year and I didn't have them this year. And so I called national and I emailed them, and they don't give them to the local units or the district, they give them to the state. And I called state and I said, well, we're not the same as last year. Well, I didn't know that, so I had to wait to get them. I thought, okay, we can use the ones we did last year. So yeah, they didn't change the rules, but because national doesn't put those rules out there, because some states do change theirs a little bit. Maybe they're more stricter, or maybe I don't know. I don't know why you change the rules, because when they go to national, they're being judged on the same thing. So it doesn't make sense to me, but the states can change their guidelines if they want. So.
I just had a quick question. So when they have to pay the member dues, the kid actually has to be part of the PTA too, or just their parent?
Yeah, elementary school can't be a PTA member. Only middle and high.
Well, yeah, it is elementary school.
Yeah.
We're like spread thin. There's like 3 of us trying to do everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I just wasn't sure, like, so is it the parent that would have to be?
Just have the parent be a member.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then I need to correct that. Thank you.
Oh, wait,
so much.
question.
Yeah.
So the parent has to be a member for their child to submit?
No. But we
Okay.
recommend it. It doesn't, I don't think it has in there. What are you looking at? It has rules that you have to have.
It didn't. I was just going with her correlation of why she was asking if the student had to be part of the PTA.
Oh, I thought it said something about pay member dues. Is that like the
So
PTA?
That is your, I thought maybe I missed.
That's when we pay it, right? When the
school.
PTA pays it to you guys. Yeah, okay.
Pays your membership.
Okay, sorry, I'm new to this.
Deadline. It has nothing to do with the parents now.
So the school actually has to pay the member dues.
The school has to actually be an active PTA. So you have to have a PTA at your school, and you have to be in compliance, which is what we're here to do, is help make sure that your school is. But one of those pieces is that your school has to have membership, minimum of 10. And so that's the rules, is that you have to be an active PTA, basically.
Okay, so we're like at 4, so we're not considered active, I guess.
And if you're not considered, if you are not in good standing right now, make sure that, get in touch with us, with your vice president for your area, or with me, and we'll make sure that we get you up and running and make sure that all of those pieces are accounted for, so that way it doesn't affect your reflections. We don't want students to be affected by that at all.
Right.
And so we're here to work with you to make sure that all those pieces we can get done for you.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what is your name?
I'm Sienna. So I'm the district president. And then wherever school you are at, you will have a vice president as well that can help with that as well. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We're all just kind of hanging by the threads. We used to have a good PTA. We're at J-Town Elementary, and a lot of the parents left when their kids graduated last year. And so we're in the process of hopefully getting more
Don't
members.
worry about it. We're all in that same process. We really are. Everybody is kind of regrouping, because after a year and a half of being pretty much virtual and all of that, we're all sort of at that regrouping stage. So 2 recommendations is, one is make sure you're looking and find out who your vice president is. I'm trying to think. I want to say it's
Michelle. Well, we have like Corey DeMoss, Michelle Hall.
No, with the district, to help make sure. I'll make sure that we get that to you.
Okay, perfect.
But then the other thing is, come to the training on Saturday, and we can help make sure that you can meet up with them, and we can go through all of that stuff with you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like, my video is not on because I'm driving right now and it's in safe driving mode.
Totally good. No, but that's the whole thing, is if you need help getting everything sorted with your PTA so that we get you back up and running, okay, that's what we're here to do. Like I said, we don't want any students' reflections not to be accessible to move on to the state and to nationals, because we're here to help you do that.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
If you're in elementary, they do have, which I thought was really nifty, they have a coloring book. If you want to share that with your parents, that kind of gets people in the mood. And there's also I don't know, they even have an activity thing. So art activities for your kids. Now, these aren't so much reflections, I don't think. But there are ways that families can do art together. That's taking your program to the next level. I don't see it here. There is a post, or there's a 1-page. I don't see it. But they do have ideas on how to do the in-person or at-home program also. So I'll help you guys any way I can. I'm available. My email is easy, reflections@15districtpta.org or autumn@argo-networks.com, either one. I know it's 7:07, so a little bit over, but any questions, other questions you might have, I'm happy to answer them.
I have questions, but I'll wait till the recording's off.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions before I stop the recording? Well, I want to thank you guys very much. I do hope you join us on Saturday. It'll be a lot of fun to see everybody. I know that I've been missing seeing PTA faces, so I hope to see everyone.
I guess I have a question. What is Saturday? I'm sorry.
Saturday, we are doing our general board meeting, which we will do our approval of our budget, but it's also a training and a get together, and we're going to have leaders there. Sienna, there's breakfast.
Yep.
Breakfast.
Say a light breakfast, but overall training, and just sort of update on PTA, and get you in contact with who your district contact is, who your vice president is, so that we can really help make sure that, whatever questions we can answer and help you with, we're there to do so.
So it's on our website. You can just click right there. It's on our Facebook page, and that's a vendor one. I just hit the vendor one again. I'm sorry. That one. Now, if you want to be vendor, yeah, we can do that too. But this is our back to school. So we will have some vendors there and breakfast. And some training to get you all ready for the year. And if while I'm here, I'll go ahead and poke it. We're looking for PTA student reps for each grade level. Grade level or just one, Sienna? I don't
Just
know.
one student.
So if they're interested, have them fill out this and we'll talk with them. Or if you want to join 15 Districts Board, I'm sure we will.
I was gonna say, we'll be pushing that too on Saturday. So if you're interested in helping on the district, please reach out. So we have a few open spots left, and we very much would like to get as many people involved as we can. So if you're a reflections share and love it, I'm sure Autumn would like some help on some reflection sides and some other things like that. We have some open positions, so please reach out if you have any interest.
All right, well, I'm going to shut off the recording now, so that if anyone wants to ask a question, doesn't want to do it on camera, that's fine. Let me stop recording. Where is the video? Stop video. Oh no, that was my video. That's what I did last time when I tried to record. I stopped